Okay, now what do you do? Can you even put an implant in there? Well, not exactly, no. So there's always different things that come along, so there's a need for, more and more treatment that can become more expensive, obviously, than routine. It's not just a filling or one crown every few months or something, or a few months, years, hopefully. But it depends. So you don't know what the future is, depending on how healthy. Health is your wealth? Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And we're back with Dr. John Anderson from
Georgia Denture and Implant Specialist, Woodstock and Atlanta.
ITP and OTP.
That's right.
So we were talking in the last segment about the cost of implants, dentures, overlays. Overdentures. And are those costs covered by dental insurance or Medicare?
Not Medicare. The only thing that Medicare will cover dentally is usually related to some cancer treatment of something where part of your mouth has been really affected, and not just in a small way. Usually part of your tongue, roof of the mouth has been removed, part of the jaw has been removed, so they'll often do that. Although sometimes certain circumstances, like for follow-up and then something down the road, they won't pay for something like that, and despite the narratives that I write them. So bottom line is Medicare won't really cover anything routine dental at all, like a crown, a bridge, or something like that. Even post-trauma, like automobile or fall, slip and fall, or something like that, which happens to a lot of older people.
Yeah.
No,
that's
they don't.
not covered by Medicare.
No,
wow.
They don't cover it by Medicare. No, they don't. Even if it's related to some medical anomaly, well, you fell down. That's basically it's not covered. So you have to have private insurance, if you will, or with your company. Basically, dental insurance is three different types, of which one of them I'll say is really not around much anymore. First is like an HMO, which is DMO, and which is probably the least, cost, impact to a person. It's often supplied by an employer.
And is that the type of insurance that they would have had, back in the 80s or 70s?
No.
Okay.
That was indemnity, and I might as well get into that right away. That's another type. Indemnity insurance was a time when a lot of it covered a lot of stuff. I mean, the co-pays were minimal. I had some from some of the big United Auto Workers and things like that. Where
a lot of the local unions.
Yeah.
I don't say very much many positive things about American Telephone and Telegraph, but they paid for my dentistry. They paid for my braces. They paid for a lot of things, and my mother really didn't have to come out of pocket.
No.
And
if so, minimal.
It's minimal.
Yeah,
and
maybe 20% tops.
And now I feel like it's almost the complete opposite. When my son needed braces, I felt like I paid 80%, if not more, for. So
you did.
So continue going into the different types, and then let me know. What happened, and does it even make sense anymore to have dental insurance?
Well, and I will get to that. Let's go. So we have the DMO.
Okay.
And that's one where you've got to select a provider. They have to take you in under their, as part of their patient pool. They may be filled or something, so they can't. And those are generally the least expensive, and they're generally hooked.
But least expensive to who? The
to
consumer,
you.
or
to the patient, let's say. But still, they're limited. There's caps on things. You're still going to pay a certain amount for a crown, where the dentist says, okay, I get a capitation fee. They get paid for each patient they have in their group, in their office, and then they have to sign a contract. Well, they'll provide a crown for, instead of $1,000 for $800 or something like that. It's all agreed to stuff. That's a DMO, just like an HMO. And as you know, you've got to kind of, if you want to change providers, you've got a time when you can do that, and so on. The most common around is a PPO, Preferred Provider Organization, which is the same with a lot of medicine, where you've got your group. In other words, you're in network, if you will. And so when you're in network, you can go to, you're not like you're in the DMO, where you've got to get with Dr. Schmidlap over here if he's got room for you. And if Dr. Schmidlap, and once you're in his umbrella, if you want to switch, you got to do it a certain time and then find another one.
Yeah, I think I would switch from Dr. Schmidlap just
Schmidlap.
for the name alone. Just Schmidlap.
One of my mentors used to use that term, and I loved it. Yeah, no, he's fine. He's passed away a long time ago.
Okay, sorry.
So, but he was a great man. But anyway, he used to use that word because you don't offend anybody with Schmidlap. I've never heard of that name before. But so anyway, PPOs are ones where you're in your network. They have some specialists within network, or not too many though, because once again you have to agree to a certain cost for fees. So those fees are limited, and a lot of specialists we can't. I'm a specialist. We won't go with PPO fees because they're too low. We have lab costs and a lot of other things we do beyond the average dental office in what we do as a specialty. So you won't see a lot of specialists. Some in PPOs and these big groups might have some. The other is the old indemnity we talked about, which is, those are great. A lot of them were either 100% covered. There weren't really caps on too many things. There might be some guidelines, that kind of limit that you can't get a full mouth rehab for $50,000 back then. But things of that sort. But you could work through it depending on what the company paid. I haven't seen really much indemnity for a long time.
When we come back, I want to ask you again about the different the type of insurance that we're seeing the most now, what it covers and why the coverages are so low.
You want to talk about that now?
Yeah, when we come back.
Okay.
All right.
That sounds good.
We'll be right back.